the past decade has not been kind to Danny Rand, but this year, the year 2025, we got a good Danny Rand Iron Fist comic. I can't believe it. Last week, the Undead Iron Fist #1 came out from Jason Liu and Fran Gallen, and it was a great comic book. I cannot believe it. I was checking it out because I'm a big Danny Rand fan, but I had no faith in the comic actually being good. It's just, all right, I'll give it a shot because I like Danny Rand a lot. And it's actually really good. I didn't really trust it because Jason Liu's the same guy that wrote The Death of Danny Rand in the 50th anniversary issue, and that wasn't very well done, so I wasn't looking forward to this, but he killed it on the first issue, and I really like Fran Gallen's art in this, so that's what I'm going to be talking about today, is the Undead Iron Fist #1. It's a great comic book, but first I'll tell you how Danny Rand died, just in case if you're out of the loop on what's been going on with Iron Fist. So at the end of the Iron Fist 50th anniversary issue, they killed him off. It's his 34th birthday, and he gets hunted down by a Qilin. Qilins are these things that like go after Iron Fist on their 33rd birthday, and this thing did go after him on his 33rd birthday, but it failed, and it came back for revenge now that Danny had given up the Iron Fist, now that he wasn't it anymore. It's Lin Lai now. So it saw an easier fight this time, now that Danny Rand wasn't the Iron Fist. So it also, Qilins always have to possess someone, so it possessed Razor Fist, and it was in the body of Razor Fist when it fought Danny Rand. They have a fight, it's going back and forth, and then it just wrecks Danny. It like cuts off his leg, his arm, and kills him. And that was the last time we saw Danny Rand. I believe this came out last year. This came out in 2024. So that was the last time we saw Danny Rand, and now he's back in this new series. And in this new series, as it says, he's the Undead Iron Fist. And spoilers if you haven't read it. Obviously, I will be spoiling it. I highly recommend you read it. But anyways, let's get into it. So the issue opens up with Luke Cage coming to visit Danny Rand's grave because Luke Cage is mayor now after the events of Devil's Reign and everything that happened with that. Fisk isn't mayor anymore. It is now Luke Cage. And Luke Cage is like, man, he's at Danny Rand's grave. He's like, well, he's on his way there. He's like, I'm sorry, I haven't had time to visit you. I've been busy with all this mayor stuff. And then he sees that Danny's body isn't there. And he's like, what? He's like, sweet Christmas, what's going on? Then we get a really cool shot of Danny on the Brooklyn Bridge. I really like it. Again, I like the art in this issue a lot. And we also get sort of an A and B plot. We get the A plot of Danny in New York hunting down these things, which we'll get into in a minute. And the B plot is him in the underworld because, he got killed. And he's climbing this mountain that it says he's been climbing for days. And then he fights a dragon. And it's pretty cool, but Danny was brought back to the land of the living to fight these infernal beasts that hunt down Kunlun's lineage of illustrious warriors. That's how the book puts it. Danny was granted the ability to expel these beasts from their human host because, again, they're the same type of creatures that killed Danny, the Qilins, so these things possess human hosts. And Danny has now been granted the ability to be able to expel them from their human hosts, and that's why he was brought back. And they tell him that they're now called Wraithlings. That's what they call themselves. And so Danny's mission now, he was essentially given the ability to come back into the land of the living to be able to expel these things from their human hosts, and he's a man on a mission. We also see that he was given limited energy to complete his mission. We show that there's like a flag of the Iron Fist symbol, the dragon, and it's burning. And once it's burned all the way up, I'm assuming he goes back to the underworld. He's no longer with us. So we see that he has a limited mission, which makes sense because it's a limited book. It's not an ongoing. But Danny first finds his first group of Wraithlings, which are possessing this family. It's like a husband, wife, and grandma, and it's great. He fights them. It's really cool. And then you have the bystanders that don't know, because that's another thing. Danny's the only one that can see these things for what they are. So to everyone else, he's just fighting this normal family. So the normal bystanders in New York are like, whoa, this ninja dude's beating the tar out of this family. They're like, whoa, Granny can throw hands. What's going on? And it's pretty fun. And he beats up this family, and then he escapes into the sewers because he sees that more of these creatures are coming for him, and also he doesn't want to deal with civilians. But then Miles Morales Spider-Man shows up, and Miles is like, I can't, what happened? Some dude just beat up a family? I gotta go fight this guy. So he goes and he follows him into the sewers, and he tries to fight Danny Rand, and Danny Rand doesn't even try to fight him. He's just like, I don't have time for you. You need to get out of here because these things are trying to possess you. I've got bigger problems than you, kid. And it's great. I really like it a lot. And then we get the setup for the whole series, which is that Danny Rand has to get from where he's currently at to the Rand Corp Tower, which is where the main the main boss of these things, of these Wraithlings, is waiting for him, which I'm assuming is going to be the one that killed him. That would make sense for him to get his ultimate revenge, because that's what it talks about. It's like, Danny, we've granted you the ability to come back to get your revenge. So it's kind of like a one of those like old school arcade beat 'em ups. It feels like that type of story where it's like you start from one point of the city, then you gotta beat the tar out of everyone in your way to your mission, to your goal at the end. And I like that. I like it. Sometimes simple is good. Not everything needs to be Watchmen. Not everything needs to be the most complex story or like breaking down a hero or anything. You know, sometimes it's just dude was brought back from the dead to kick ass, and I like that. I think that's really cool, and I'm a big fan of that. And then the big reveal at the end when Danny climbs to the top of the mountain in the B plot in the underworld, we see Orson Randall is there. Orson Randall, in the last solo ongoing that Danny Rand had, Orson had sacrificed his soul to save Danny Rand because they were all in the underworld, or they were all going to be stuck in hell, and Orson had sacrificed himself so that way Danny and his half sister didn't have to be stuck there. So that's why Orson's here, because he's been condemned to hell because of that. Not really sure why Danny's there though. But anyways, Danny meets up with Orson, and Orson tells him that the Book of the Iron Fist, everything was a lie, and he's like, I got a lesson for you. So we'll see. There's going to be some reveals about the Iron Fist. I have no idea if the rest of this series is going to be good. I don't know if this was an aberration, if just they accidentally wrote a good comic book here, if Jason Liu accidentally wrote a good comic. I have no idea. But he did a great first issue. It's really good. I don't know how this was as good as it was, because everything didn't look very good. I wasn't a big fan of the design I was seeing of like Danny with like the metal arm and like his new look, and I was like, but then the interiors, it looks good. It works. The book looks good. It's fun. The action flows well. Even when Danny in the underworld, where he doesn't have his little Iron Fist get up, looks good. I like how crazy all the possessed people look. New York looks great. The art is really good, and I can't believe it. This is like maybe my favorite Marvel comic of the year, which isn't saying a whole lot because I haven't really enjoyed a whole lot. I'm enjoying Incredible Hulk, but that's kind of it. But for the most part, as far as Marvel goes, there's not a whole lot of Marvel books I've been enjoying, but this was great. It makes me sad that it's only a limited series. I think it's like 5-6 issues, something like that. I can't remember, but this first issue is great. It's a lot of fun. Again, not every comic needs to be the most complex, like we're going to win an Eisner because we're really breaking down this character. Sometimes it can just be fun, especially when you've got the martial arts character, when you've got the guy that's known for, like, you know, having sick kung fu. Like, we just want to see him beat people up sometimes, you know? And I think that's cool. And I like that that's what this first issue is. It gives you what you want. It doesn't, like, do anything stupid. I like Danny's characterization in this because I feel like in recent years, for some reason, people kind of, maybe it's the Netflix series that did it, but people will sometimes characterize Danny as kind of like a pussy boy wimp. Like, he gets a little bit of that stink on him, and I don't know why, because that's not how Danny Rand is, and he's not like that in this. He's cool. I like it when he's with Miles. He's like, I don't have time for you. I'm on a mission. They're trying to possess you. Get out of here. It's great. It's really, really good, and I highly recommend you read this first issue. I hope you check it out, because I doubt a whole lot of people bought it, but I would highly recommend it. If you're interested in it at all, it is definitely worth your time. It's really good. But yeah, that's basically all I had to say. I wanted to make this video because I'm a big fan of Danny Rand Iron Fist, so I want to get the word out. But also, I made that video like 6 months ago talking about Iron Fist and the state of Iron Fist, and how everything was terrible for Danny Rand and it sucked. And now we finally got a solo miniseries, so it's like, of course I'm going to check it out. And it turned out to be good, so yeah, I'm definitely going to talk about it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. If you read it, what'd you think about it? And I will see y'all later.
Hey, skinny boy, saucy boy, I be running to the bank. Yeah, you know I hit the gas in the whip full tank. Riding past the ocean while I'm listening to Frank.